If yesterday's news was the worst kept secret in the garage, I guess today's was second. But yes, it's now official. It's been rumored and reported since summer, just like yesterday's news. It's official now. Riley Herbst is a 2311 racing driver. Riley Herbst most recently with Stewart-Haas Racing back in the Xfinity Series. In fact, he got them their last win ever at Stewart-Haas Racing by winning at Phoenix in their last ever start in the Xfinity Series. So, yes, he will be joining 2311. But the big twist, the major twist in this news, everyone thought he was going to be driving the number 67 because 2311 has run a third car that has been number 67 before. Well, it's not. And it's not number 50 either. It's number 35. Okay. The internet seems to think it's because it's the last number from 23 and the last number from 45, and they just mashed it together to get 35. I think it's Michael Jordan paying a tribute to Kevin Durant, but, we all have our opinions. Or it could be, I didn't know this, Xfinity Racing posted a picture of Michael Jordan playing baseball in the number 35 when he was at the Scottsdale Scorpions. All right, I didn't know that. Maybe that's the reason. Anyways, yes, Riley Herbst to the Cup Series. It's official, not just to the Cup Series. He's going to a competitive Cup Series team. 2311, of course, founded by Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan back in 2021. Got their first win in that season at Talladega. And then they've taken a step up each year. In 2022, both cars won. In 2023, both cars made the playoffs. And in 2024, Tyler Reddick won the regular season championship, and he went on to make the Final Four. So naturally, with all this success, what are you going to do with it? You're going to expand. The expectation, it's not been 100% confirmed, but everyone pretty much thinks this is the case, is that third charter came from Stewart-Haas Racing. So yeah, now all of Stewart-Haas Racing's charters have home. Trackhouse got one, Front Row got one, 2311 got one, and then Gene Haas kept one. So that makes it almost official that all the charters from Stewart-Haas Racing have now been sent on their way out to different people. So yeah, that means 2311 is expanding with Riley Herbst. It's a curious case because I feel like there aren't going to be a lot of expectations on Riley Herbst because when you look at the numbers, I can't deny it, there's not a lot there. He didn't win in the Truck Series. He only has 3 Xfinity wins, but I will say they all came in the last 2 years. But I don't know why. I really don't know how to explain it. But I think Riley Herbst has a good shot here. I'm not saying that he's going to go out, win 5 races next year, win the championship or anything like that. But I think he can hold his own. I think he can do a good job. And I don't, once again, I don't think he's going to go out there and beat Tyler Reddick next year because Tyler Reddick is a future champion in my opinion. So that's going to be hard to beat. But I think he can hold his own. I think Riley Herbst can do a decent job. He has shown in his few Cup starts that he's a really good super speedway racer. We've seen him in the Xfinity Series excel on the 1.5 miles for some reason. His first ever win at Las Vegas in 2023, he won by like 15 seconds. And it wasn't some fuel mileage race. He just whipped the field so bad. It was extremely random and unpredictable. So with Riley Herbst being really good at the 1.5 miles, Toyota being really good at the 1.5 miles, maybe there's something there. Now, the next-gen car is very different to the Xfinity car, so maybe that plays a factor, but I'm happy for Riley Herbst. I'm very curious to see how he's going to do. Now, of course, another factor is sponsorship. Monster will be coming over with Riley Herbst, meaning, oh my goodness, we're going to have 3 Toyotas with Monster Energy sponsorship. The 45, the 54, and the 35. Good luck to the spotters in the Daytona 500 if they all have the same paint scheme. That will be, woo. Oh my goodness. But he's also going to have crew chief Davin Restivo. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Riley Herbst himself, he said that he's excited for the future. But yes, as I said, this is a really big deal for both parties, honestly. for 2311 to be expanding, any team expanding, it's always a big deal because you got to build a third team. You got to build a third car every week, assuming they have the charter, of course, which that's the expectation. But with the lawsuit, we don't know if it's going to be a chartered team. So that's another factor to think about. But anyways, just looking at it outside of the lawsuit, building a third team is a big deal because you got to build a car every week. You have to have the people to build a car every week. You have to get the third car transported every week. So there's a lot of money being poured into a third team. And of course, when you build a third team, build a third car, you need a third driver. And for Riley Herbst, this is a huge opportunity. He's not starting his Cup Series career in a mid-pack team or a back-of-the-pack team. He's starting at a contender. And once again, I don't think our expectations for 2025 are going to be, oh, Riley Herbst, if you don't win 5 races, make the championship 4, you're terrible. You're the worst driver in NASCAR history. I think we should obviously tame our expectations, but if he's given a few years to develop, I think he could showcase some talent. I think he could go win some races in that car. So I'm excited to see what Riley Herbst can do in a 2311 car. I know some people are not Riley Herbst fans, but I'm curious to see how he'll do. I'm excited to see how he'll do, but 2311 has officially expanded. That is 2-3 teams now that have expanded in the last 6 months. Front Row, RFK, and 2311. But big NASCAR news for 2025. The field, once again, next year is going to look so much different than it did this year. Just from driver changes to team changes. Stuart Haas is gone, and now we got all these other teams expanding. 2025 preview video is going to be very long. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Any other news updates, I will let you know. But as for now, all we know is that Riley Herbst, it's official, is going to 2311 Racing. Oh, another news. Ex-Cup driver Daniel Hemrick is going to race for McAnally Racing, the truck series team that Christian Eckes was with. So good for him. That was a really competitive truck. Maybe he can win a truck series championship next year.